Chosen spirit, you who made the darkest shadows of the universe tremble, have now unmasked the reptilians and shown the world their true face. The stage of history is your playground. The walls of conspiracy are broken down by your light. Listen now. It is your justice that rules, not domination that oppresses the weak. Your courage has nailed their confession in the middle of the public square. Get ready, write 555 in the comments now, because from now on, it will be your story of victory, not theirs. Like a sunrise bold enough to paint the whole horizon gold, invisible seals blaze on the spirit long before mortal eyes can notice. A soul carrying those radiant imprints will see trifling betrayals ricochet into thunderclaps of consequence. Neighbor folks might wait a decade to watch justice land, yet anyone who swings a foul hand at that anointed life tumbles head over heels within days, teaching every bystander that heaven keeps ledgers sharper than any earthly court. No ordinary guard stands watch. The Almighty himself lifts a gavel so swift that even the hard-hearted learn not to tamper with divine insurance. Picture a spotlight so bright it turns back alleys into front-page headlines. That same holy glow doesn't merely cushion the faithful, it flips private misdeeds into public cautionary tales. Run a mental audit of the deepest scars carved over the years, then glance at the current state of those who did the carving. Shattered finances, wrecked reputations, breath-snatching illnesses, each calamity struck with stopwatch precision. Around such a destiny, the usual calendar of sowing and reaping compresses until the clock itself seems drunk on hurry. Think of a tightrope walker who should have plunged into darkness, yet somehow lands on solid ground because an unseen hand shifted the rope. Every chapter of life holds a page where disaster sat grinning, only to watch doors swing open that no man could have kicked in. Eviction notices erased by 11th-hour phone calls, bank accounts replenished by checks that weren't supposed to exist, introductions forged in rooms entered by accident. Those rescues weren't lucky breaks. They were pre-drafted rescue orders stamped by cosmic authority. Envision a mighty wind that carries blessings like pollen. Anyone who cheers on that sacred mission feels promotion in pockets and peace in bones, yet critics choke on dust storms of their own making. That wind never stops swirling. It shoves poison away and pulls faithful hearts close, even when the vessel at its center forgets the gale is swirling for free. Consider a puzzle cut so perfectly that every jagged edge sings harmony. Logic-drilled society tried to hush the song, branding spiritual instincts as foolish daydreams. Still, the pieces lined up too neatly, the timing too laser-precise. Long before flesh and blood arrived, celestial mathematicians calculated this exact vibration, camouflaging extraordinary purpose beneath everyday chores to keep cynics from panicking. Imagine a radio tower picking up frequencies dogs can't even hear. Names leap to mind a split second before phones ring. Danger alarms fire off with no sirens in sight. Crowded rooms tell entire biographies through unspoken tension. These aren't quirky habits. They're satellite dishes beaming data straight from realms textbooks ignore. Ever since grade school playgrounds, information poured in through cracks most children never saw. Think of truth as a river hiding under thin ice. Simply walking into a place cracks the surface. Secrets rush out, liars lose footing, and folks built on sand feel their foundations wobble. The breeze itself starts humming confession when that sanctified heartbeat approaches. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now. Share your blessings to glorify His kingdom, for you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. Picture night guards scrambling when the floodlights click on. Every crooked scheme launched against this mission flips like a trespasser caught on camera, producing reckonings that double as wake-up calls for the unawakened. Meanwhile, a clarion voice whispers that this universe is one harvest row in an orchard of realities, and only love, strong enough to harmonize, can unseat the gluttons gnawing at our light. Visualize a stopwatch held by infinity. Ordinary grudges might wait till the next lifetime for karmic receipts, but any blade raised against sacred purpose snaps back so fast that even casual spectators gasp. Lies unravel on social feeds, fortunes vaporize in boardrooms, marriages implode during toasts, always in view of watchers who connect the dots. No revenge plan required. The cosmos autocorrects at hyperspeed. Imagine a single ember glowing at the heart of a winter night, its warmth so honest that the shadows around it strain to shrink away. In the same way, your spirit shines with a brilliance that unsettles every half-hearted facade. Some folks will call you overly sensitive or intense, but they're only reacting to the heat of your authenticity. When you refuse to dim your light, their protective veneers start to liquefy, unleashing headaches, chills, unexplained aches, and mysterious bouts of unease, as if their very bodies refuse to shelter a soul that refuses to conform. You see, it's not that your presence is too much, it's that their masks aren't built for genuine fire. In the boardrooms of so-called neutrality, they whisper about boundary issues and emotional volatility, never admitting that your warmth is a spiritual thermostat they can't recalibrate. This flame you carry is not a flaw, but a gift, God's own signal flare sent to guide others out of darkness, and every attempt to snuff it out only fans it brighter. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Have you ever noticed how certain people wilt in your company? They avoid your glance, shuffle their feet, or change the subject when you speak of hope and healing. They claim you're too much, but I call it calling out the truth. Their discomfort is the universe's own report card. It proves that your alignment with higher purpose is real, and that your calling rattles the cages of complacency. When your soul speaks in unwavering conviction, it crackles like a campfire in a calm meadow. Some will gather round, and some will flee back into the woods. When you step into a room, you bring a breeze that feels like redemption. Lives that creaked under the weight of buried shame begin to creak open. Cracks in weary hearts splinter the darkness, letting light pour in. Yet those who cling to control feel compelled to tamp down your flame. They'll resort to logical explanations for your insight, label your compassion as impractical, and sometimes even question your motives. Don't be fooled. They're simply afraid of the love that dismantles their broken defenses. Think back to every time you stood firm in your convictions and something miraculous happened. A conversation that felt impossible suddenly found perfect words. An open door appeared in a place you thought locked. A helping hand arrived just when you needed it, even though no one knew your need but you and heaven. Those weren't chance encounters. They were coordinated rescue missions sent by your inner dispatch center, bypassing human channels and speaking directly to the heart of creation. And what about those individuals who tried to clip your wings? Every critical comment, every undermining tactic, every well-meaning advice meant to quiet your passion. Each one triggered a chain reaction of cosmic correction. Within days or weeks, I bet you saw those same voices muted by circumstances beyond human control. Their plans unraveled, reputations tarnished, or health faltered, teaching them and anyone watching that you aren't alone, and that divine partnership ensures no assault on your purpose goes unbalanced. You weren't given this unquenchable light so you could flicker in secret. You were born to radiate, to stand tall on your convictions, to speak truths with warmth, to act in kindness with unstoppable confidence. When you allow your spirit's flame to burn brightly, you broadcast an invitation. Come out of the shadows, step into your hope. And those who answer begin their own journey of transformation, drawn by the gravity of your unwavering glow. So don't shrink back. Don't apologize for the zing in your words or the power of your presence. The Holy Spirit didn't anoint you to dim your brilliance so others could feel comfortable. You carry the torch of destiny. Your authenticity is the beacon that guides seekers to higher ground. Every obstacle you encounter is a reminder that your light matters, and every flicker in adversity only proves how fiercely it refuses to go out. Embrace the heat. Let it refine you, not frighten you. Let it melt every fake veneer around you until only genuine character remains. Know that each moment of discomfort for the faint-hearted is a victory for your soul's mission. Stand boldly, speak truth with compassion, and watch as the world rearranges itself around your indomitable flame. Your light isn't just permitted, it's indispensable. And because you were chosen to carry it, there's no power in heaven or on earth that can ever truly extinguish what God has sparked within you. Imagine a lone lighthouse perched on a cliff's edge, its beam cutting through rolling mist to guide weary travelers away from jagged rocks. In the same way, your life's unexpected twists, every sudden move, every career detour, every fading friendship, weren't random hurricanes tossing you off course. They were gentle course corrections from a heavenly navigational system. Each time you felt uprooted, it wasn't abandonment, but divine rerouting, steering you clear of hidden traps that could have drained your spirit dry. You see, when you shine with an uncommon warmth, you stand out in a world that often prefers the comfortable glow of conformity. Just as a lighthouse draws both ships seeking safe harbor and curious onlookers to its shores, your authentic light magnetizes kindred souls hungry for hope and unsettles the dark-hearted who thrive in shadows. They'll huff and puff about too much emotion or overly dramatic gestures, but beneath their grumbling lies a trembling fear. They know your presence exposes the cracks in their carefully constructed walls. Think back on every season of your life when doors closed on you. A move that seemed like a painful uprooting actually spared you from roads destined for dead ends. A job that slipped through your fingers saved you from projects that would have stifled your creativity. A circle of friends that thinned out made room for new companions who resonate with your deepest dreams. None of those departures were cosmic mix-ups. They were precision maneuvers by the one who charts the stars as easily as he charts your steps. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the temporal concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the Super Thank You button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. Have you noticed how easy it is for genuine supporters to rally around you? Out of nowhere, a message arrives with just the right word of encouragement, or a helping hand appears when you least expect it. Meanwhile, those who try to snuff out your fire find themselves stumbling over obstacles they can't explain, miscommunications, unexplained setbacks, or that sudden wave of fatigue that forces them back into isolation. That's not bad luck. It's an automatic defense system in action, preserving your flame so you can keep guiding others. When negativity tries to latch onto you, it's like a tidal wave crashing against an unbreakable seawall. The criticism, the gossip, the subtle jabs, they're swallowed by your resolve without leaving a mark. Yet even that unshakable foundation trembles under the weight of your calling, because your steadfast faith starts to melt away the hardened sediments in others' hearts. They might accuse you of being too sensitive or overly intense, but really, they're reacting to the convicting warmth of truth your spirit radiates. In every instance of seeming postponement or delay, there's a deeper purpose at play. Consider the moments you felt stranded, waiting for clarity or direction. Those weren't idle pauses. They were spiritual pit stops, moments ordained to recharge your faith, realign your vision, and bring your heart into harmony with the rhythm of divine timing. While ordinary calendars tick away in linear fashion, your life operates on sacred synchronicity, where every moment is arranged to crescendo in your favor. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Remember when you faced what looked like a wall of opposition, and without lifting a finger, it crumbled before you walked through? That wasn't your charm or sheer luck. That was Providence clearing the path. You walked into rooms feeling overlooked, only to realize later that every chair had been set aside just for you. Opportunities that seemed out of reach arrived at the precise moment you dared to believe they were possible. That's how God's GPS works. It calculates minute reroutes that blindside the logic of our minds but align perfectly with the desires He wrote on our hearts. Yes, the narrow alleys of this life are dangerous, and the currents of culture can sweep away the unwary. But your spirit carries an internal beacon so bright that even the fiercest gales redirect themselves around it. Those who walk closely with you report fresh winds of hope, new jobs, healed relationships, unexpected breakthroughs, because they're riding in the uplift of your faith. And those who try to clip your wings find that air pressure itself fights back, giving them headaches, fatigue, or that unshakable unease that reminds them they've crossed a boundary they can't understand. This pattern isn't mysticism. It's the blueprint of a life led by a shepherd who never loses a single lamb. Each redirection was tailored to protect you from pitfalls, to preserve the charge on your spiritual battery so you could go the distance. Every closed door saved you from dead ends. Every detour pointed you closer to divine appointments. And every fading friendship made space for soul ties that reflect the family you were always meant to lead. You're not merely drifting on the winds of chance. You're riding a tailored tailwind from heaven itself. Your relocations, your career twists, your shifting friendships, they're all part of a divine choreography too grand for mortal planners. So stand firm in the knowledge that each step you've taken, no matter how bewildering, was carved out by a higher hand determined to keep you on course. Let your heart rest in that truth, and watch as every new horizon unveils exactly the scenery you need for your next season of purpose. Like a weatherband radio hidden in the marrow of your bones, a private frequency has been chirping directions since the day you drew first breath. That inner signal, hunches that yank you off highways seconds before the pileup, night visions that replay themselves at high noon, whispers that shove you behind the right door, comes straight from headquarters. The more you lean in, the louder it broadcasts. Coincidences line up like parade horses, blessings show up overnight, and every hostile arrow melts mid-flight before you even know it was launched. Picture a blacksmith's forge where every hammer strike lands on red-hot steel. Your challenges are the sparks, and each blow turns raw ore into tempered armor. Betrayals sharpened your judgment. Dry seasons stretched your perception, and public stumbles hammered an iron confidence no gossip can dent. Every foe handed you a tailor-made lesson plan, then tripped over justice the moment class dismissed, proving royalty can't be roughed up without heaven filling out incident reports. Think of two magnets snapping together across a tabletop. The good ones find you that fast. Conversations skip small talk and dive straight to soul depth, while counterfeit company peels away like paint in a storm. These sudden kinships are signatures on contracts inked before birth. Each ally flips a hidden switch inside you, firing memories older than clock time, and every misfit exit makes room for a fresh revelation. Nothing random, all orchestrated. Like seeds tossed into miracle soil, your words sprout quicker than the Weather Bureau can update the forecast. Desires blossom in days. Worries can bloom weeds just as fast. One blessing muttered in faith can open a client's doors. One careless gripe might flick the lights off in your own house. That is raw creation power, and it demands a vigilant gardener. Mind on what's planted, tongue sharp as pruning shears, emotions tuned to the harvest you expect. Imagine an architect drafting blueprints with starlight instead of ink. The paths that vanished, the romances that unraveled, the gigs that never called back. They weren't accidents, but detours steering you toward the exact stage built for your voice. Every mountaintop cheer and valley groan. Mix the concrete that now sets your foundation. Map those interventions, lock your borders with custom filters, and feed the wiring of your multi-level spirit daily. See time as a bullet train you're driving with thought alone. One idle fear can pull the emergency brake. One clear intention can rocket you into tomorrow's station by supper. Keep hands on the controls every waking minute. Write the itinerary in real time and watch dormant hearts around you click awake like motion sensor lights. Systems topple under their own rust, and dimensions ripple at the weight of your stride. Comfort was never the end game. Transformation was. Think of yourself as a finely tuned engine, built with top-shelf parts designed to run under pressure. The universe has poured premium fuel into your soul because your code carries the cure for an ancient ailment in the human heart. That pressure is the throttle keeping this medicine flowing. Without it, you'd coast in first gear forever. You'll find that as you rise in clarity and conviction, the resistance you face grows in kind. New giants step onto your path not to trip you up, but to make you stretch higher, run faster, and lift heavier burdens than ever before. When you feel the weight increase, don't shrink back. Lean in. Embrace every challenge as a divine invitation to expand your capacity for impact. So lift your eyes and welcome the next workout of destiny. God's training ground has mastered your schedule, and each demand on your time and talent is a sign you're on the cusp of breakthrough. Keep pressing forward. Your greatest strength is being forged right now under heaven's intentional design. Imagine a single candle igniting a pitch-black cavern, its flame daring the shadows to retreat. Like a lighthouse finally firing its beam across a black sea, your unfiltered presence is the signal the world's been groaning for. Stand upright, no shrinking, no apologies, and observe as economies, narratives, and even the physics of a room bend to accommodate the authority you were born to wield. When the cover comes off a destiny this bright, shadows have two options: transform or flee. Think about every time you spoke your truth and watched barriers dissolve around you. Doors that seemed sealed, slammed wide open. Conversations that should have sputtered into awkward silence turned into breakthroughs that left hearts softened and eyes glistening. That's not coincidence. That's divine choreography. You weren't raised to tiptoe through life. You were built to blaze a trail. And when you speak with that unshakable confidence, even the walls lean in to listen. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially, far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as His mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord guide your path. Obstacles, they're simply invitations to prove your faith is stronger than their doubts. Ever notice how the fiercest critics are often the first to crumble under pressure? Their frantic efforts to mute your message backfire, because every time they try to dim your light, God's spotlight only shines brighter. It's like someone tries to cover up a sunbeam with their hand. The instant they pull away, that beam is dazzling, and you stand at its center, revealing every hidden corner and exposing every lie. Remember, you're more than capable of steering the course. Your ideas will spark boardroom renaissances, infusing stale strategies with fresh inspiration. Your kindness will activate healing in wounded communities, stitching together bonds untethered for years. Your vision will light up dark alleys of doubt, turning barren fields into fertile ground for dreams to grow. When you take your place center stage, no pretense, no fear, you become the change agent this world desperately needs. And to those who stand in your way, wrestling for control, let them try. Their counterfeit kingdoms are built on sand, and your footsteps alone cause tremors. The moment they feel the quake, they'll scatter like startled birds at dawn. Some will try to stand firm, but even the sturdiest oak bows before a tempest of divine purpose. You aren't here for their comfort. You're here to call reality back to its creator's design, and that shakes the foundations of every counterfeit throne. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. So lift your head, square your shoulders, and speak with the voice of one anointed. When your words ring out, simple, honest, full of faith, they become lifelines for the lost and battle cries for the bold. Watch as stalled negotiations accelerate, as muted dreams awaken, and as long-forgotten hope surges back into the hearts of those around you. That's the electric charge of your presence, the force field of grace that refuses to be contained. Let every heartbeat echo that truth. No apology, no shrinking, no settling for less. Stand firm in your calling and watch how heaven's logistics realign the stars in your favor. Because when you claim your place as the lighthouse in the storm, everything that was once lost will find its way home. And every shadow will learn sooner or later that it cannot withstand the brilliance of a chosen one set ablaze by divine love.